technicians transition to business owners, or how can they get into like real estate? And so that's the real goal of this page, is for technicians to have a resource and have someone that's gone through the process of, from a technician or an employee in the body shop industry or automotive industry. How do they transition to becoming, a homeowner, a real estate investor, a business owner, business partner, whatever the case, right? So Gregory's question was, he said, let's see. All right, so Gregory, he says, Stan, I have owned my own shop for 30 years. In 2012, I was arrested and served 7 years. I lost over $1.5 million. I'm managing a shop in Brooklyn now. I know how to build businesses. Now with my credit shot and being 59 next Friday, I don't have the financial resources. Can you give me some possible solutions? So this is what I'm gonna suggest, Greg. You're actually in a very good position, because you're the lifeline of that shop that you're managing now. And so you got to remember, so us humans, the information that we had, 10 years ago, or the information that we had maybe last year, or the information that we had last week, it makes us become obsolete. And what I mean by that is, like, maybe, for example, like your marketing, if you're managing the shop, I'm pretty sure you're in charge of maybe some kind of marketing. You're in charge of some kind of leadership. You're in charge of some kind of weekly strategy, right? So are you improving your skills in those areas? Because if you're gonna manage this shop, you got to remember, you can't manage a shop of today with the skills that you had 10 years ago, or the skills that you had before you got arrested. So if you've been arrested if you've been in jail for 7 years, and you expect to use those same skills to come out and manage a business, and for it to be successful, you might run into some problems, because that old way of doing things is not going to work with today's economy and technology. Those skills are not going to work. So what I would highly suggest is say, okay, you know what? Where are my marketing skills at? If you're doing marketing, ask yourself, from a level of 1 to 10, where am I at in marketing as far as like understanding how marketing works, right? Okay. If you're a 1, then that means you need improvement in that area. What about your management skills? So, are you able to understand your technicians? Are you able to communicate with them well? What does y'all cycle times look like? And so if not, I mean, maybe you need to invest in getting better on how to manage people, because what will happen is, if you invest the time, that's the thing. Don't expect for a business to invest in your knowledge. Like, what they're gonna do is they're gonna say, okay, well, we're hiring them. We want a return on investment. It's up to you to take the initiative and say, you know what, I'm going to invest in myself, and I'm going to educate myself and become a value to this business. Because if you educate yourself and you become good at marketing, if you become good at management, if you become good at closing, those estimates that come in, or if you get good with building connections within that community, you're going to be a huge value to that company. So it's going to be hard for them to let you go. And the good thing about it is, if you invest that information in yourself, you're always going to have that information. You're always going to have that knowledge. So I highly suggest invest in yourself. As you're investing in yourself, get a credit report. Get a credit report and say, okay, you know what? This is where my credit's at. This is what I need to do to knock these bills down, and start knocking that bad credit out. It's going to take you some time, but it's a process. So as you're starting to improve yourself, you're starting to read books, you're starting to watch YouTube videos on marketing, asking good questions. I mean, you're asking questions That's the jump. So now you're gonna ask, okay, what are some better questions I can ask? What are some questions that might, educate me to make more money, to improve this business? Make a list and say, okay, you know what? In this business, these are the 5 things that I need to work on improving. And don't worry so much about the pay. Worry about the results. Because if you're able to prove results, if you're able to show results on your work, that speaks greater than just talking about it.